Konnichiwa. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to our week 8, I believe it is now, review session. So today we are going to be going really mostly over personal pronouns, first person, second person, third and third plural. We'll run through those a few different times. And the big trick here too in this review is final short vowel deletion, okay, which we tackled at the end of last class. So we'll do definitely multiple examples of that for you to kind of practice with a little bit. Okay, so let's get into it, see how we do. Okay, so the thing I really want to focus on here, again, those four different actors, okay. We want to do first person, which is me, second, which is you. We want to do third, which is, he or she, and third, plural, who is them. Okay, so let's kind of roll through this. Now, the trick here too is that these are going to be on VAI, personal pronouns. Because again, like I had said last class, you know, um, we cannot do VIIs, right? The things I can't say something like, if I take a random, like even like a word like this, naokwe, which is a VII, and it means it's noon. It's noon. It is noon. It's a VII. I can't like say ni naokwe and be like, I am, it's noon. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So, like putting an N on that, obviously that's in red because it's wrong. Okay, so we are doing VAIs. Please do not try and put personal pronouns on VII verbs, like weather words or time words or any of those other VIIs. Like it is blue. I can't say I am, it's blue. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we're using VAIs here. Okay, so let's get into it and look at a few of these and practice a little bit. Okay, so we'll start with a verb that doesn't do short vowel deletion, and then we'll compare the two side by side. Okay, so I'll just pick a random um, other verb here. Okay, like maybe I'll do something along the lines of like gish kibojige, which means he or she saws things. Okay, like with a handsaw, okay, to saw things. Gishkabojige, gishkabojige, he or she saws things. So again, it comes in third person out of the dictionary. Okay, it like kind of defaults to he or she does it. So let's start rolling through this. So gishkabojige, if I want to say they saw things, again, what needs to happen? Gishkabojige wug. That's my plural to say they do it on a VAI ending in a vowel. And now if I want to say I saw things, what needs to happen? We're going to say probably it's going to end up looking like ingishke bojige, right? I saw things. And again, this is the ni sound or a sort of variation of that. When something like when a verb starts with a G, to make the ing is such a good sound that people will often choose that, like ingish kabojge. But you can still say nigish kabojge, and that's fine. Okay, nigish kabojge, ingish kabojge, it's all good. Okay, and then let's look at you. So what would we do here to say you saw things? Ge, gish kabojge, right? You saw things. So there it is. Okay, there's your third plural, first, second on Gish Kabojige. He or she saws things. It has a consonant start, vowel N, and every long vowel N. Okay. And that's sort of what happens with that. All right, so let's do one more little thing like maybe something like shin. Okay. He or she falls back. Okay, it's to fall back. All right. So on something like this, there's two other things to kind of consider. We're still not in short vowel deletion yet, but I just wanted us to practice on shin. What happens if I want to make it plural? Okay. Shin. Is it shin work? Shouldn't be, right? It's a VAI that ends in a consonant. So it's not shinwag, but shinog. Okay, shinog, shinog. They fall back. Okay, so that is the consonant ending plural. Okay, if you got a VAI that ends in a consonant, it's og versus kishkiboji gewag, shinog. Now, what about me and you? Okay, I fall backwards. It starts with an A, right? Shin. So what we're not going to do is ne shin. Again, I don't want to see this. No, no, no. Okay, that is not how it's done. We have to roll onto it with indigestion, indigestion, indigestion. I fall back. And then finally, for you fall back, we've got indigestion as the kind of the guts here of it. Indigestion. Okay, so we have ind and gid. All right, and that is how you connect to a vowel start. Okay, you fall. All right, ajeshin, ajeshinog, indigestion, gidagestion. So now we're dealing with vowel start, consonant end, right? Like, so you always have to adapt. You have to look at every single verb that you're dealing with and be like, okay, how does it start? How does it end? What am I going to put on there? Eventually, it becomes natural. Eventually, it'll become like, well, yeah, of course it's that, or else it would sound weird, right? So you'll eventually develop that ear of like, oh, obviously that's what sounds good. Okay. So now let's get into the real stuff. Okay. Final, short, vowel, deletion. Okay. So again, to define this, when you or I, well, say like you or me, do a VAI verb that ends in a short vowel, it is deleted. Okay. And the key thing here is you or me. And when it's on a VAI, and that it has to end in a short vowel. Okay. And again, this only works, positive and independent. Okay. This is, don't worry about these yet, but when we get into other verbal forms, this rule kind of changes a bit. But we're dealing with independent order positive right now. Okay. So let's look at these. I'll pick a verb like maybe gekandaso, gekandaso, gekandaso. So right now that means he or she is smart, okay, or knowledgeable, or whatever it might be. Okay, so gekandaso, he or she is smart. If I want to say they are smart, gekandaso ends in a vowel, so the plural should be gekandasoak, gekandasoak, gekandasoak. They are smart. Gekandasawak, Gigil, Gikanomaganak. Well, those students are smart. Gekandasawak, Gigil, Gikanomaganak. Those students are smart. That's how you'd use that. Now we want to say, I am smart. I am smart. You might want to be able to say this to brag to people, maybe, now that you're learning Nishnabemwen, right? Oh, Wabanda Shin, no look at me. Ning ge can dos. Okay. I'm smart. So what happens here? Okay. And I put ning ge can, but maybe I'll make it easier. Ni ge can dos. So the idea here is that there was an O, ge can doso, but we don't say nig can doso. Nig can dos. We delete the short O because it's a VAI and you or I are doing it, and it ends in a short vowel, aka, the short O. I'm smart. Make a can dos. And then you are smart. Ge can dos. You are smart. Ge can dos. Look at that. Now you could make it into a question. Ge can dos na? Ah, nige can dos. Can you interpret that? Ge can dos na? Ah, nige can dos. Are you smart? Yeah, I'm smart. Gigacandos, na? And Gigacandos. All right. So let's do another one. We could do a verb like this. Bebog, bebog. He or she yells or hollers or screams, whatever, any of those words. Bebog. He or she yells, shouts, screams. Okay, bebog. So how do I say they yell? They yell. Bebog. Walk. Bebog. Walk. They yell. Ibagawak. Ibagawak. Now, what about I yell? How do I say that? Nibi bog. Nibi bog. I yell. And you yell? Gi be bog. Okay, there it is. Boom. And then, of course, you can always use these things. You can use whatever different actors they might be to make little questions, right? I could say, be bog, you walk, nah, go, um, wheels and suck. Be bog, you walk, nah, go, wheels and suck. Ode. Vi baker wag na gyo kwivzen sago de. Halloween. Vi bage si wag gyo kwivzen sag ode. Anyone understand what I'm saying? Bi bage wag na gyo kwivzen sago de. Halloween. Bi bage si wag gyo kwivzen sago de. Are those boys yelling over there? Ode means way over there. Halloween bi bage si wag gyo kwivzen sago de. No, those boys aren't yelling over there. Of course, there's our negative. Bebog is siwak. Galween bebog is siwak. Kagalween. Kagalween bebog is siwak. All right, there's just using that in sentences so you can start to kind of get used to it. Okay, I'm going to do one more example here. I'll pick a different verb. Maybe I'll do a verb like this. Oh, here's a good verb. Okay. Ikido. Ikido. Definitely one that people should know. Ikido. Ikido. He or she says, you know, something. There's sort of implied that there's something being said, and you can kind of use it accordingly. So if I want to say they say, kiddo walk, kiddo walk, they say. All right. What about I say? I want to say I say. We've got an I at the front. We're not going to say ne ikido, ne ikido, ne ikido. There's no glottal there. We roll right on with indikido, but indikido sounds still weird. What are we missing? Indikid. Indikid. I say. Indikid. Indikid. And you say? It'll be the same thing. Gidikid. 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 You say. Because again, we're rolling onto the I at the front. Gidikid. And there was an O there. We don't say gidikido. It's gidikid. Short vowel deletion for me and you. Okay. Ikido. Kidwak. Indikid. Gidikid. All right. And there it is. Okay. Another kind of example using short vowel deletion. All right. And I'll pick another random one now and we'll just do a positive negative with like me or you or something like that. Okay. So again, I'll pick another one like, oh, like this. Um, I'll use Skonwe. You'll see different ways to write this. Iskonwe, Shkonwe. Um, there's different ways to do it. I'll put the because I think it's yeah, Indiskon. Yeah. So yeah, it'll look like that. So this means he or she is a student or goes to school. Okay, so if I wanted to ask, are you a student? Are you a student? I could even say, are you a student at Cape? There's technically a short I there. It's important to know that when we start doing short vowel deletion. Are you a student? Gidisconil? No. What about in Cape? Neyaashinigamiing? Gidisconil na Neyaashinigamiing? I want to say I'm not a student at Cape. The yes is easy. Indisconil Neyaashinigamiing. Indisconil Neyaashinigamiing. That's too easy. Let's do negative. Kagawin. What do we do with skonue, right? We want to say, I'm not a student at Cape. I'm not a student at Cape. Kagawin indisconuisi neashine kami. So you can see we put the ind at the beginning for indisconue. But you can see that normally you do short vowel deletion, right? Like if that was positive, it'd be indisconio, 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 just like we did gidisconio, no? But because we want to put C on the end, it's almost impossible. Like that's hard to say. So we can actually put our little I back. Kagawin indisconwisi. You hear that? Like it's nice to have that little I. Indisconwisi. Wisi. Kagawin indisconwisi. Neyaashinigamiing. I'm not a student there at Cape. Gidisconio Neyaashinigamiing. Kagawin indisconwisi. Neyaashinigamiing. All right, so there's like a final little kind of practice for you guys. That really the things to take away here and the things to work on. Find verbs in the dictionary, VAI verbs. Make sure that they're a VAI. If you start trying to do this on VTAs, VTIs, VIIs, you try and do this on other types of verbs, it won't sound right. It'll be super weird. Okay, so look for VAIs. All right, like if I look at gigido, gigido, he or she talks or like speaks. and I want to say I speak ingi gid. Ingi gid. I speak, right? If there's a G at the front, so we can go ni or ye, or sorry, ni or ingi kid, and we delete the short O, right? It ends in a short O. Ingi kid, I speak. Ge, gi, gid, na, ah, ingi kid, mage, kagawin, ingi kid, dosi. There's the negative. So that's what you should be practicing right now. Find a VAI that ends in a short vowel and start working on this. Gigado becomes ingi kid or gigi kid. Put it in a question. Gigi kid na? Are you speaking? Ah, ingi kid. Yeah, I'm speaking. But then try the negative. Kagawin ingi kidosi. Ingi Kagawin ingi kidosi. Gigi kid na? Ah, ingi kid. Kagawin ingi kidosi. That's your homework. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope this helped as a little review here on VAI, personal pronouns, and short vowel deletion. Okay, so we'll see you next week when we start to probably be doing tense markers. And then that's going to be really fun. Past, present, future, and all sorts of other little subtleties around that. Okay, so stay tuned for tense markers coming up.